Okay guys, hi, I'm starting up a new YouTube channel and this is my first test video. It's going to be about Stratego. I'm going to play some ranked games and record them, give my commentary. Decided to start up this channel because quite a big fan of Stratego, and was looking around at some of the channels and content on YouTube. It wasn't a great deal, but there was one guy that I'll give a shout out to, Maxosity, or Silver Hammer is his name on Stratego.com. It was a bit of an inspiration to record some games and put them on YouTube and just sort of join the community and build up a bit of my own community, get some feedback and get some maybe some tips, advice, and just general kind of chit chat about the game. So if you like the content and you enjoy it, please subscribe, like, comment. It'd be great to hear from you. And yeah, I'm going to go with this setup. It's a new setup I've been trying. It's not been too bad. So yeah, we're going to try it out, and as I say, just let me know any comments, feedback, and if you enjoyed the content, and yeah, let me know how you get on, and maybe add me. You can see my name come up eventually on there, Ground Bob. But yeah, it'd be great to hear from people and to build up a little bit of a community. Hopefully I'll eventually get in contact with all the other sort of high profile people that are on the Stratego community. As I say, Silver Hammer, Maxosity, he's got his own channel. I think I'll eventually send him a message, get in contact with him, see how he's doing. He hasn't uploaded for a while, I noticed. So again, that was one of the reasons why I decided to start up a channel, start up doing a live commentary. I liked Maxosity's channel because he did live commentary during the games. You know, there's some other content out there, but there's not really much commentary and kind of insight into people's thought processes and their movements, and it's not always easy. It's easy to follow when it's just silent, there's nothing going on. So yeah, hopefully this guy's not going to take too long. We can get into this game, and hopefully it's recording as well. Testing out this new software at the same time. So yeah, okay, here we go. Let's see what happens now. So okay, it's me first. So with this setup, I've been generally starting with this 5 in the middle, the lieutenant, and then if there's no attack, I tend to move up with the major as well. Now for this setup, what I've been doing is kind of leaving my spy and my marshal dead center, because you tend to get a lot of people coming and attacking with their marshal or general straight down the middle. So I kind of have that covered straight away. And what I tend to do is just kind of move my top row here up through the middle, kind of fake those as bombs until they want to attack. And then what that does is leaves my top row clear for me to kind of shuffle around if I need to. So yeah, what I do is just start pushing up with these pieces, move as minimal amount of pieces as possible to begin with, just to kind of bluff bombs and stuff, and then, as I say, it gives me the option of kind of shuffling my pieces left to right if I need to. And yeah, here we go. You see he starts attacking there, so he's wasted the scout there. So I'm going to, as I say, keep going through the middle at this stage. I'll start defending that. Once I start exposing these majors, I tend to move up with these other pieces here. Excuse me, it's quite early here. I'm in the UK, I'm in a place called Milton Keynes. It's about half an hour, 45 minutes away from London. So yeah, I've got a bit of a London accent. I grew up in London. So yeah, it's actually 10 o'clock in the morning here now. So yeah, just sort of waking up nice and easy breezy. So okay, I'm going to go for it here with this 7, because he did have a scout on the other side, so I'm going to have a bit of a risk here. Okay, so I always tend to give that a go, because if nothing else, if I lose a major, it is going to expose a big piece, and the quicker I can see his bigger pieces, the better for me, because then I can kind of work out my strategy around that. So Okay, we're going to go with that, and obviously now we know where his general is. I would say that his spy is going to be around here as well. So we're going to try and pressure over that side for his spy and see what happens. See if we can either flush it out or get him to kind of start attacking more with his general. And obviously he's quite near now to my marshal down there. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen here. We know he's got 7 here now. What I can do as well, which I may do in a moment, is I may fake my marshal attacking that and try and flush out his spy that way. But let's see if I can get him to kind of move here. Okay, so maybe this might be his spy now, so let's see if he's got it covered here or not. If not, okay, right, so that's his colonel. So perhaps his brigadier, sorry, I call it a brigadier because I actually played this game many years ago. One of my older brothers, old school friends, he had the original game, which was called L'Attack, I believe. That was where Stratego sort of originated from. There was a game, I think it was invented after the First World War, or during the First World War, for the troops to have an alternative to chess. So, and as far as I know, it was called L'Attack originally. And yeah, there's kind of little cardboard pieces and stuff, and yeah, that's where I learnt how to play this game. It was only many years later I sort of could never find that game, or never heard of it, and as I say, it looked really old, so I wasn't convinced it was kind of around anymore. And then one time I was talking to someone in my work, and I was explaining to them how I used to enjoy this game I learnt, and when I was explaining to him, he said, "Oh, that sounds very similar to a game I got in my loft called Stratego," and he said, "I'll bring it in and you can have a look, like, see if it's the same game." So of course bought in Stratego, and then that was it. I was like, yeah, that's exactly the same game, but it's obviously been kind of revamped for modern day. And yeah, that's how I sort of found out about this Stratego, and then sort of never looked back from that point. So yeah, I can't remember the main reason I was going to say that was that yeah, so in that game it was called a brigadier. The general was called a brigadier, and I think all the other characters were the same. So anyway, now I'm going to try and push up on this general and see if he can, if he's going to accept this bluff. No, he's not actually accepting that bluff. So okay, I'm going to go up now, because I know that's his colonel as well, and that's his general. So I would assume that this is not really going to be a massive piece here. I'm going to try and flush something out, try and get some pieces here. I would assume his marshal is going to be around here now, just based on the fact that he's got 2 big guns over here, big pieces over here. It could be there as well, but we're going to try and see what's going on here, if he's going to come up with his general. Okay, so he's moving back with his colonel there by the look of it, and yeah, let's see what he's going to do here. Okay, so he's coming in there with a lieutenant, so I can kind of cover that here with his captain, just move my 2 back. My 2's there just kind of as a bit of a bluff, as I say. So right, actually, was that his colonel there? I think that might have been his colonel, and that was his general, so I'm not sure what this was here. Let's move up. I'm going to try and see if I can sneaky attack this bomb, get it out of the way, and we'll go for that after. Now, a lot of people would say like that this is a dangerous strategy, having my marshal and my spy so close to the front row, but of course, you know, I'm well aware of that, and I aim never to leave the spy covered so that a scout can attack. You know, I always kind of have something in front of it, never leave it exposed. So that is generally what I tend to do. So that tends to cover me there, and then, as I say, I can kind of lure people in with their general or their marshal, and yeah, hopefully get a nice crafty win there. So yeah, okay, I think that was his colonel there. So think what I'm going to do is, well, he's got one of my pieces there, hasn't he, with that move, so I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'll have to move my major back, and what I'm going to do is again try and flush him out now with this minor, and see if we can flush something out. If nothing else, we get some scouts. Yeah, you see, you get a scout out there, and I tend to like, it's like a strategy that I tend to use is to have my scout, have the guy use his scouts up as quick as possible, and then I feel that gives me an advantage. Then I can kind of move into these channels with a scout, just leave a scout there, and then they'll kind of attack. They'll tend to want to attack those pieces, and obviously it's just scouts later in the game, which is an advantage for me, because then he'll start revealing those bigger pieces, you know, because he's got no choice. So yeah, that's the way I tend to do that. That piece we're not sure of, so we're going to start shuffling around here now. Get this miner out the way, get the scout up there. He's only got one more scout left now, so okay, I've got that lieutenant there now, so that's good. So as you can see, what I'm kind of doing is just kind of really playing the first stages here, trying to establish both where his big pieces are, try and grab what I can, try and bluff what I can, and sort of start building the basis of a strategy, so that, you know, as the game develops, there's more chance of me, you know, obviously winning is the idea, and just having an advantage throughout the game. I find, you know, I used to be quite a defensive player. I would not sort of attack at all really, and then just lure people in, but you'll find that you'll kind of get players in higher ranks, I guess, you know. I mean, I'm actually in a bronze level. I think I'm a bronze colonel at the moment, which is not great, you know, by any means, but what you find is, as you get sort of higher up the ranks, you get players that will kind of outflank you, start attacking you on the flanks and stuff. So you do need to kind of have a bit of an attacking strategy so that you can start getting some pieces and start making some headway. Otherwise you'll find, you know, that people will kind of do that to you, and then the next thing you know, you're on the defensive and you've given away all your pieces. So yeah, this is how I tend to do it. Just play it kind of easy at this stage, and yeah, okay, so that scout's coming useful there. So I think what I'm going to do is try and kind of get in there with my miner and his back line if possible, and then see if we can just get somewhere, find out if he's got some bombs there, and you know, I think what I may do is start moving over with my marshal, with my general. Sorry, I did notice on Max's channel that sometimes, you know, when you get into a game and you need to concentrate, you have to be careful that you're not concentrating too much on the commentary and find yourself losing the game unnecessarily. So yeah, this guy, you see, he's moving in and out with this general, trying to with this colonel, trying to force me back each time. So that's something I can be aware of now, and I can kind of base some of my strategy on. See if he will eventually fall for that bluff with my general. Let's see if we'll start trying that now. And made a silly mistake there, not concentrating there to leave that one. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is not reveal this colonel at this point, because and that's something I didn't really want to happen, because I wanted to try and get my general over there without him knowing really, and now my kind of spy's a little bit under threat. So I think, oh, it's going to be a bit tricky here, because the next move could be there anyway. Okay, well, I'm going to have to hopefully just reveal the kernel instead. So, I'm going to have to take this now, because otherwise it could run into my spy. Not ideal, not ideal. I think I'm going to gamble though, because it hasn't moved. My spy hasn't moved. I think it's more likely to go up. Yeah, he's more likely to go up there. So I took a bit of a gamble. Very, very high risk gamble there. I could have lost my spy to a sergeant totally unnecessarily. So yeah, that was a dangerous play. I probably wouldn't advise that kind of thing. So I think yeah, it was a close call, but we got a result with it. So I think now what I want to do is maybe put some pressure on his general here, maybe see if he'll take a bluff. Now what I tend to do is I'll try and sell bluffs right up until the moment they've got no scouts left, because obviously if you're selling a bluff and they've got a scout left, and potentially you know, they're going to send a scout in and your bluff's going to be rumbled, you know, you're going to get busted. So what I tend to do, yeah, is that. Now I'm starting to wonder whether that is his spy, because he keeps going back there, and he's also, his colonel's kind of hiding there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in here with my captain, and he'll do one or two things. He'll either swipe it with his general, or he'll have something else here covering it, in which case both ways we're laughing, because if he takes it with his general, okay, right, so that's his marshal. And this is what I did wonder about that, didn't I? So now what we know is we can literally run riot with our general. But what I want to do is I just want to check what's up here, see if I can get something up here before I leave with this, yeah, with my major. And then what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to go over here and then with my general, and hopefully then what I want to do is just move this piece here, because obviously if he comes for me with his marshal, then I can kind of sweep back round my front line and run past my spy. But what I've got a feeling is going to happen here, he might sort of threaten, but he's not going to actually do too much, because he's one of those type of players where he wants me to kind of run into the traps, you know. So that's fair enough. We're going to try and see if he'll lure himself into my trap. You know, I've got that scout there. I know that's his marshal. We're going to come up here. We're going to try and get some of these pieces here, and hopefully that's not his other colonel. But I've got a feeling it could be. Okay, no, it's his other 7. So that's fine. I'm going to keep going, pushing up this flank. What I find is, you know, if you can kind of keep outflanking them, you can get them running back, you know, and you can get yourself in a position where they're on the run rather than you, and you know, you can kind of base your own attacks around that. So that's what we're doing here. Okay, so now he brought in his 4, so we're now. Okay, has he exposed his spy? He has. Okay, perfect. So that was a plan that worked, you see. I had a feeling that that was his spy. I got into position there. Oh, I've made a silly move there. Okay, oh, well that's good. He didn't re-expose his colonel, or he didn't take it with a piece that we already knew. So that's fine. Alright, so now what we've got is we've got business, because now I can start moving in with my marshal happily, that we can go in and essentially take what he's got there. Now what I tend to do, but he's got one more scout in place, so I don't want to do it quite yet, but what I would tend to do is, if I know that I've got his spy, then obviously what will tend to happen when I go in with my 10, well, he will sort of just cover it for an exchange. So what I sometimes do is I'll go in with my spy, and then as he comes to sort of block me there, then I will swoop with my spy. So we've got something in mind. He's just moved his marshal along, so I think if I don't want to do that quite yet. So I think what I'm going to do is just back away a bit with my general. He may start wanting to exchange, so I do need to be a little bit aware that here we go. You see that he's going to start trying to do that. So I think what I might do is I might move my marshal up a bit, because, or what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to fake my marshal with my colonel, because then you see what tends to happen when you do that, when you do a bluff like this, then what will happen, he'll think, right, okay, that's his marshal, and he'll start coming around into your trap, you see. So what I'm going to do is just what I tend to call like a null move. If I'm not really quite sure what's going to be happening here, I'll move up on another flank with a sort of a piece that's just going to try and, you know, like a miner, try and be productive up here. Okay, great. So I've got his last scout now. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to flush that last scout out, because, as I say, I can start now, if I want to, bluffing with my spy. I can go up full steam ahead with my spy, and when he plays his defensive moves with his marshal, and that was his marshal. I must keep an eye on this, because I don't want to find myself you know, losing track of his marshal when I've really got a chance here. Okay, so this could be double bombed off, so I tend to just take a risk here. There's not much you can do. I'm going to get trapped, so I'm going to try and take out some of his back line. The captain's a great one to do. Oh, okay, so I haven't got very far, but that's fine. You see, now we've got a situation here where you know, I know how he's going to start operating. He's going to start moving his marshal all around to cover, and you know, this is what he's going to. That's going to be his tactic. So I think what I'm going to do is try and get my colonel up there for a bit of reinforcements and maybe some attacks on this side. Now you see, now the problem with that is he thinks that's my marshal, so I'm going to just go back with that bluff. Okay, and then I think what we're going to do is we're going to maybe move up with my marshal on the other side and kind of bluff him, see if we can lure him in to my trap. Now the thing is, you see, I don't quite want to reveal my marshal to him, so I'm just going to push back with that for the time being. And you see, this is probably likely to be a lower end piece, so I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to have to move in with my colonel at this point, and I seem to recollect that was his colonel, so that's fine. And yeah, I think what I'm going to do is move in with a lower piece, and we're going to try and lure that colonel and general into a trap. You know, you see, he looks like he's just playing null moves now, so I think what we're going to do here is now that's unfortunate, you know, that was unfortunate that I had to trade there. He wanted to follow that all the way down, which was a shame. I should have maybe had my marshal in a better position. It really was a shame there. So I think, yeah, you see, now I might be able to move in with my spy here and get into a position where I can you know, take some big pieces here. Oh, got his marshal in the wrong place. Oh right, it's a bit of a disaster then. Oh no, all my strategies have really gone out the window there. Basically, it's not a great game as it's turned out there. So looks like I'm going to be in a bit of a trade-off. He's also got one major up on me, so that's not ideal at all. So I've left myself a bit stranded here, really. You see, and what's probably likely to happen now is we're going to end up trading majors or colonels, and you know, he's going to get me on the fact that I've not got enough majors. So I think it's going to be a very tough one for me to win at this point. I think probably one of my better ideas would be to maybe just try and launch an attack. But no, I think, to be honest, it's going to be too difficult. I think I'm going to just quit this game. Well, I'm not sure really. It's going to be very, very difficult for me to get anywhere. Although his other colonel is over the other side. So I think what I might try and do a bit of a lottery strategy here. I know where one of his bombs is. I think I'm going to try and swoop round the board, see if I can catch some of these majors back, you know, and there's a potential that he will fall into a bomb because you know, he doesn't know where my bombs are. He hasn't seen a lot of my moves, let's see. Oh no! So there's another bomb there. So unfortunately, yeah, our lotto strategy isn't quite going to work. Going into a bomb again. I think, in actual fact, we could try one other thing. I can send him over this side, and then fake him back over this side. Then hopefully we may be able to get something whereby I can lure him down here. So, oh right, so it was bombs down there. Okay, so he's got himself bombed in there. And now I'm just going to try and, you know, kind of lotto here with my colonel. I know it's a high risk strategy, but what can we do at this point? You know, I found myself in this position, so I'm going to try my best to make something of it, you know. So we're going to go and do the same again. We're going to try lure him in on one flank, and then we're going to try the same again and make sure that we are attacking on all fronts. But it's obviously not a strategy that's necessarily going to work. But what can we do at this point? You know, this is the only way we're going to be able to do it. If there's any chance of us at all. And I've got a feeling his flag's over that side with the 3 bombs down there. You know, I think what we're going to find is that. That's going to be a place where it could potentially be his bombs there, you know. So he seems to be wanting to defend it. So actually, let's see here if that's a bomb as well. Is it? Okay, so that could be his flag there actually. So you know, potentially there he did have a bit of a mistake there. So he did let us in at that point. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can outflank him here. because if we play it correctly, then we may be able to get in there and outflank him and maybe get a cheeky win, you know. So this is what we're going to. Oh, he's made a terrible mistake there, you see. So hopefully we may be able to get a bit of progress here. We'll get this bomb out of the way. See if he's got his flag over this side. I mean, he's got 3 bombs. There's a potential, but I've got a feeling it's this one here, his flag. Yeah. So okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go for gold on this one. We're going to try and outflank him here. We're going to try and make sure that if he wants to do that, that's fine. We want to try and sneak by with the miner. Okay, great. So he's fallen for it here. So now we could be potentially in here. We're going to go for gold here, and we're going to go and attack. And let's see if he's made a terrible mistake. Oh, okay. So well, this guy's obviously a good player. He's got his bluffs there. He's got his sort of wedges and his guys hidden in there. So that was unfortunate. Now, as to where his flag is, we're going to have to probably quit this game because I don't think we're going to get over there. So that must be his flag, or he's like me. He's perhaps got his flag on his second line in here. Yeah, but anyway, it's not a great example here of how to play this game, my first effort, but at least we gave it a good go. Yeah, you see, I think his flag must be one of these ones here, so yeah, I think I'm going to quit this game while I'm ahead and got 1 piece left in my dignity. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the game anyway. It wasn't a perfect example, and you know, there's a couple of key mistakes there. I lost track of his marshal. But yeah, join the community. Please subscribe, like, comment, whatever you need to do. It'd be great to hear from you, and yeah, hopefully I can grow this channel and keep putting up some videos for you. Alright, see ya. Bye.